Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So we will continue looking at JavaScript in this video, and we're going to be using today the input box to input a value, and then again we're going to be using a function within the JavaScript to do something specific, and to call that function we're going to be using a button. So please check out the previous videos because this is a continuation of what we've done so far, but with the input option, that's going to be something a little bit new in this video. So let's call the title input fruit. Okay, and then we're going to go to the body section. And what we want to do is we just want to output some information. So heading 1, we want to say please enter either apple or banana. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is create an input box. Okay, so if I type in here input, we just close the brackets. Okay, and obviously we want to have, okay, just that. So the next thing we want to do is write in the type of data that's going to be going into this input box. So we need to type in type equals, and in this case it's going to be text. We will be doing this again, and we will be including numbers in another tutorial, but in this example we're just going to be inserting some text. Okay, and the next thing that we want to do is give this input box an ID so we can refer to it later, and I'm going to call it fruit. And the last thing I want to do is put a placeholder in, so something that's going to appear in the box as a hint to what needs to be entered. So placeholder, apple or banana. Right, let's have a quick look and see what we have here. So let me just save this. It's going to be a switch statement again, so we can just call this switch part 3. With the input box. So let's go to the browser and let's see what we have. So please enter either apple or banana. So here is a box, and we could type in something. Right now nothing's going to happen when we type something into this box, so we will have to come back to this later, and actually we're going to have to add to the code to make something happen. Right, what I want to do is have a button that's going to run the particular function that we're going to be creating. We can call the button click for output, or just call it output. So the button is going to be used to run the function to output some specific data based on if we type in an apple or a banana. And then the output will be visible at this point here. And we need an ID to refer to this. So we can just call it fruit output. Right, that's the first part done. If you want to have a look and see what we have so far, you can do. So we're going to enter the name of a fruit, and then we'll click this button and something will appear down here. Okay, depending on if we type in apple or banana, we'll get a different output. Okay, so now what we need to do is go to the script to include your JavaScript basically. So let's create some space and let's create the function. And we can call it fruit underscore fun for function, and then opening those brackets and then curly brackets. And the first thing that we want to do is whatever's been entered into this input box here, so whatever's been entered here, we want to store it into a variable now, and then using that variable we can compare it to different cases, which we'll have a look at in a moment. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to type in or create a variable called fruit name, and that's going to be equals to, and we have to get that element, document get element by ID, and what we need to do is open the brackets. So we want to refer to this here fruit, Okay, so whatever's been entered into this input box, we want to take it and store it into this variable called fruit name. So fruit, and what you need to write is dot value. Okay, so basically the contents of this input box is going to be stored into this variable. Okay, once we have that, we can now use this variable here to compare against different values. Okay, so we're going to type in here switch. Okay, and we want to compare fruit name. So let me just type in here and then open up the curly brackets. Okay, so the first thing we want to compare it against is it a apple? Do apple first. Okay, colon, and if it's an apple, we can do an alert. So alert, and we can write something like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So it's just a phrase that some people might be familiar with. Okay, and then we also want to output some information here, the fruit output. So document get elements by ID, and we want to refer to fruit output. And what we can say is .inner HTML, you have entered a apple. Okay, and then let's format this text. A document get elements by ID, open the brackets, fruit output. This time we're going to type in style dot color, and make sure it's an American spelling, and we can make it red. And then if that doesn't work, I mean, if this is not the condition, so we typed in banana, we want to, or say if this was the condition, then we want to break the statement at this point. Okay, done. Right, if this is not true, let's check if this is now a banana instead. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste. I didn't put speech marks because it's a text string that we basically referring to. So now let's check if it's a banana. And what can we say if it's a banana? We can say something like, unless you are a banana, older you get, better you get, something like that. So obviously with time bananas will go off, they'll go dark, and but what we're trying to say is if you're a human being, for example, the older you get, the better you get, the smarter you get. Right, so you've entered, we want to output, you've entered a banana, and we want the text to be yellow. Now, let's say you've entered something else, so we're going to break this as well. We can just have a default option here. So colon, and then just we can have an alert like you did not enter valid fruit from the options. And then let's break this. Oops. Right, let's zoom out a little bit and see what we have. So we have a function. It's not going to work unless we now call that function using this button here. So what we're going to do is type in onClick, and then we want to call the name of this function here. No, this one here. That's the name of the function there. click that in there. Save. Let's have a quick look and see what we have. So let's type in here Apple. Output. So we have the alert. An apple a day keeps the doctor. Did I forget to include away? Keeps the doctor away. That's the actual phrase. Okay. It doesn't matter for now. And then you've entered an apple. If I type in here banana, unless you're banana, the older you get, the better you get. And that's showing us in yellow now. Yep, that's what we want. Okay. If you want to add another button to clear the contents of the output, you can do. So let me see if I can quickly do that. Call that clear. I'm going to create a function called clear ID. And let's create a new function down here. So let's get rid of these extra spaces. I don't like these unnecessary spaces. Okay, so let's make another function in the script. Call it clear underscore ID. Okay, and what we want to do to this ID here is through output, we want to just basically clear it. So I'm just going to copy this. And so if you click that button, it's going to return like an empty space here. So through output will be equals to this empty space. Let's see if this is working. Type in here banana. Yep, so we've got the alert and then clear. Yes, it's working. Let's see if I type in something else, pear. You did not enter valid fruit from the options. That's fine. Okay, great. We've come to the end of this tutorial. So just basically another example of using the switch statements to check for different conditions. Obviously, you can use if and else instead if you wanted to, but sometimes it's just easier to use the switch statements. You're not maybe using as many lines. So we've got two functions here. We've got two buttons. And when we click on each button, we either run this function, depending on which button we've clicked on, or this function here. Okay, we've come to the end of this tutorial, guys. Please drop your comments below, like and share, and also subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.